I thought I would give a video in regards to how the disembarkation process works with P&O, and this is specifically Iona. We are 2 days before we need to leave the ship, and they have popped these into our pigeonholes. This is very efficient. It explains exactly what you need to do, and it's very, very well organized. There are two types of disembarkation that you can do. One's called self-disembarkation, which basically means you pack up your cases as normal, but you keep your cases in your room until you wish to leave. Now that works for a lot of people. However, you do need to bear in mind that you need to be able to handle all your luggage yourself. That means going in the lifts, handling any stairs, going down the walkways into the terminal. But then the big advantage is that you are usually ahead of any queues and traffic and off if you've got a long journey, any flights. So it can be very helpful. On here, it says that you can disembark from 7:15 a.m. up until 10 a.m. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be off super early. You can obviously disembark up until 10 a.m. However, you have got to just make sure you can carry everything yourself. We've done this a few times, and I must admit, I think we've done it earlier than 7:15. I think we've walked off about 6:45. It just depends what time they can get the ship cleared in Southampton, and usually we just go down to deck 6, which is always where disembarkation is, and usually the doors are open and staff are encouraging people out. So if in doubt, you can just go down. The Vista coffee shop is usually open as well. I think usually it's open from 7 a.m. I don't know whether it's open earlier, but it's definitely worth double checking, and you can get a coffee if you've got a long journey ahead of you, which is literally just before the doors. So it's quite handy to grab a coffee and off you go. The other option you can is what's called a scheduled disembarkation. Now that means you pack up your cases like normal. However, you then need to leave your cases outside the night before. So on here, which is on the back of our instructions, it says you can leave luggage outside your cabin from 2 p.m. and anything up until going to bed the night before. Now we've done this, I've put cases out 10 p.m, 11 p.m, and that's no problem at all. The crew are constantly picking up cases in the corridor all evening, and they take them to a storage section on the ship, ready for when we arrive in Southampton. Then all the cases are taken off by the crew. It's very well organised in the terminal. You walk down the walkway, and as you enter the terminal, they have it organised per deck. Nice and spacious. It's really easy to see. I do sometimes find that I will try and put something obvious on my suitcase, because this seems to be a lot of popular suitcases around now. So I will try and put like a red hair bobble or anything just slightly different to make sure that I can identify my case. There are always trolleys available, and there are always members of staff available with trolleys too if you do need that extra help. So one thing that they say is you have to leave your cabins by 8 a.m. on disembarkation day. There are 3 places open for breakfast. You can go to the buffet. Now the buffet is open from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Alternative, you can go to the Keys, which is the fast food sort of sections on deck 8. That's from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Alternatively, you can go to the main dining room. So here they've got Pearl and Coral, which are the big 2 restaurants at the back of the ship, and they're open from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We've done all of these, and they're all great. And even in the main dining room on the day we need to leave, it's nice and calm, it's nice and relaxed. They're actually quite efficient as well with bringing everything. We've never had to wait too long. It just depends which you fancy. The other thing just to make sure is you check your stateroom account. They usually pop them in your pigeonholes the day before. So just double check if there's anything you're not sure about, because you will need to speak to guest services usually the day before you leave. If you are doing normal disembarkation and you're putting your cases out the day before, try and remember to bring some sort of bag or a little suitcase that you can keep with you to put obviously everything that you need for your last overnight on board ship, because obviously your cases will have gone. That's another tip that I would highly suggest.